Ironman 2020 issue 4 sees Midtown Manhattan erupt into chaos as Arno Stark destroys all of the robot resistance with his new Iron Legion, all of which are human-driven mechs, so they will do what they were supposed to do instead of rebelling against them like the programs did. Amidst the chaos, Herbie tells Ozymandias that they are no match for them, and Machine Smith agrees, and while he mourns the loss of Mark 1, they have to leave the body there. Suddenly he gets a call from the ghost in the machine, who says the battle isn't lost yet, and they need to leave but protect Mark 1's body at all cost. Machine Smith tells Yellers to listen to their leader as Arno comes for them. Machine Smith tells Ozymandias to give him a show of how his mimicry powers work, so Andy blasts Iron Man with his own repulsors, who is angered his tech is being used against him. Recovering from the blast, Arno finds that Andy and the Yellers have escaped. In an unknown location, Mark 1 falls through the long life of Tony Stark, from his birth to his parting days to the assembling of the Avengers. Mark 1 says that this isn't his life, it's Tony's, demanding this all stop. He lands in a white void where shards of those memories exist, making Mark 1 wonder if this is some type of hell, to be alone with Tony Stark's life and his mistakes. Soon he is met by Friday, who says that the glow Mark 1 noticed around him was the moment he passed into the 13th floor, which is when she was able to pull his consciousness out of his body and to her. At Bane Tower, Sunset meets with the nation of the world's defense chiefs, telling them Mark 1 has already taken down Mark 1, meaning the rebellion is scattered, but it also means the rebellion is scared and desperate, so they are striking out at any humans randomly. Luckily, she has just completed her Iron Legion upgrades for her Bane battle mechs, and they have proven to be very effective, so she tells the gathered people that the mechs are now on sale for them. One of the people asks why can't Iron Man just clean up this all on his own, since he is meant to be a hero after all, and another asks about the obedience code, since it sounded cheaper. Bane is frustrated she has to answer these questions, as at Andy Bang's apartment, Andy finds Machine Man has broken in, drinking all of his Korean beer. Aaron says that he needs a favor, revealing Jocasta's head and telling Andy that he needs to help fix her. Andy says of course he will help Jocasta, as she says that she would have shot him with her eye beams had Aaron not deactivated them. Andy gets to work, saying Bane had him working on the coding, but nothing crucial about it. However, he did manage to slip a backdoor key into the program. However, that won't help him undo the code, since Jocasta has to want to be free, and if she truly likes the way she is now, then they are lost. Luckily, Jocasta wants to, activating and reassuring the men that she is back to her normal self. She tells Aaron while she can't forgive him for putting her head in a bowling ball bag, she thanks him for freeing her. Ghost in the Machine contacts them, telling them that they need all of the specs for the program Andy just devised, since they can send it out as a vaccine for the obedience code. Andy doesn't know who the Ghost in the Machine is, but Aaron thought that he was her mole in Banetronics. Andy says that he only told that to Sunset, but he was lying and he has no idea who the mysterious benefactor is, and figured as long as they thought it was real, the real mole could continue on their mission. At the Port Authority, two hooded sick people tell one another they need to get out of the city, but suddenly Arno arrives, picking them up and revealing that the two people are his parents, demanding to know why they left the protection of Bane Tower. He realizes that they are very ill, asking why they left their quarters, so Howard says that they were being kept as prisoners, and Maria says that Arno killed his brother, and while he's always struggled with people, he's also struggled with them, and there's something very wrong with him. Arno doesn't think so, knowing there is something wrong with them, since their genetic code wasn't complete when he made them, and he had to reverse engineer the missing pieces from his own DNA, meaning they now have his disease, and their quarters were a larger version of the iron lung that he had when he was a child, and the moment they left, they started to deteriorate. His parents pass out in his arms, leaving Arno to tell them that death is only a setback, and he can fix them as well as Tony. On the 13th floor, Mark 1 is reunited with Friday, who says despite all his smarts, he was still thinking like human, and look how long it took him to realize that she was more than just a voice for his HUD. Friday isn't angry, since he did far more than most people would have, and once he accepted her rights as an AI, he gave her an android body and made her more real. To repay him for this, she reluctantly became the OS for his virtual Eastgate world, which led to Motherboard erasing her programming, but Motherboard only scattered her code around Escape. Showing Mark 1 a hologram, Friday says that when he reformatted Escape into the 13th floor, she became the realm itself, and thanks to the way the realm was set up like a human mind, she began evolving and learning. Mark 1 says that he is sorry for forcing her into Escape, and he's ashamed it took him becoming an AI to realize that. Friday says that he's not an AI though, he is indeed the real Tony Stark, but Mark 1 doesn't think so since he has evidence that proves he is artificial. Friday says he's no more artificial than someone with a replacement hip, and Arno's regen pods did replace some of his biological matter, but he is still Tony Stark. But this time they're going to get it right, since she has been in touch with Bethany Cabe, and Rescue has been sent to find DNA from Tony's biological parents, which they will fill in his genetic code gaps with. Mark 1 says that this feels all wrong, and Friday shouldn't have dragged Pepper into this, since he's not Tony Stark, and even if he was, all of this would not be worth the risk, and everyone should just accept the fact that Tony Stark is dead. In New Jersey, Awesome Andy, Herbie, and Machine Smith protect Mark 1's body at Machine Smith's lair. Machine Smith hopes he could have downloaded his mind into Mark 1's body to help him out, but now he's fully machine life, meaning he is incompatible. Herbie tells him that they need their leader desperately, and maybe they can just string him up onto Awesome Andy and make the robots think he's alive. Aaron soon contacts them, telling them that they have a way to stop the Obedience OS, since Jocasta is living proof that it can be reversed. Andy says that he's sending them an update that will make robots immune to the code, and the more robots with the code will make them stronger, and their army will prevail. In his lab, Arno is met by Sunset, who demands to know why he's not out there fighting, noticing that he is now making robots for some reason. Arno says that he's bringing back his parents and they need more durable bodies, hence why he's remade the Arsenal and Motherboard bodies from Escape. Bane isn't too happy with that, hoping that he will come up with a new way to beam the Obedience code into every AI on Earth. However, Arno has no intention of doing that, since beams can be corrupted, revealing new technology which will be installed into the Stark orbiting space station. He says the tech is a combination of Mandarin hypno rays and controller brainwashing tech, making Bane wonder how this will work on robots. Arno says that it isn't going to work on robots, since it's more efficient to unite robots, since they are predictable, and he just needs this tech for a more difficult party he needs under his control. Bane thinks he means her, but Arno reveals that for some time now, she has actually been an AI herself, showing her the tubes that contain her body and telling her that when she wanted the little scar on her face fixed, Arno took the opportunity to make a whole new Sunset, and this whole time, he hasn't been working for her, she's been working for him. Dr. Shapiro uses this revelation to escape from Sunset's grasp, running through the base to a computer and contacting Friday, revealing to Mark 1 that she is the ghost in the machine. Friday learns from Shapiro what Arno is prepared to do, enslave the world, and only one person can stop him, Tony Stark. Mark 1 hates being called that, as a younger Tony tells him to grow up already, since he is ready for this and has been since he first picked up a soldering iron and made jetpacks for his action figures. Another young Tony appears, saying by the time he was a teenager he had conquered mountains and speed records. More versions of Tony appear, telling him that when his back is against the wall and there is no hope, that's when he has his best ideas, like remaking himself not into a weapon, but into a better man and a hero. Tony tells him that he was ahead of the curve when the new age of heroes begun, and he became a legend without any powers except for his mind. Mark 1 says that they are all wrong, and he always screws things up, as a drunken Tony tells him that he learned science is failures and they teach one how to succeed. He says the last time they were forced to drink, but when it came time for him to choose to drink, he stopped, and if he could do that, then he can do this as well. Mark 1's armor appears on him, as he says that he isn't Tony Stark and doesn't want to be, he's just an echo of Iron Man. Friday says that she is one of Tony's ideas as well, and so is Mark 1, and she knows this because she isn't doing any of this, and this is all a world that he created, and all of these Tony Starks and even her are aspects of his own mind, and this whole time he's been talking to himself. Mark 1 realizes this as all of the Tonys are absorbed back into him, rebirthing the real Tony Stark, who says this is who he's always been and it's time to get to work. Iron Man 2020 issue 4 is a really great, albeit quite wordy comic that features some fantastic character development from Mark 1 as he realizes he is and always has been Tony Stark Iron Man. Arno Stark's role in this story has been really quite great to watch unfold. He's a real dick, yet you can't help but just look on and even kind of root for him a little bit as he enacts his evil plans, which are kind of masquerading as him trying to save the world from a threat we know nothing about. As I said before, the book is rather wordy since it's quite full of exposition, mainly from Friday and Mark 1, which I feel could have been spread over 2 issues instead of packed all into this one issue. Other than that, I really love where the story is headed for the final 2 issues, and I look forward to the Iron Man finally returning. I'm going to give this issue a 7 out of 10.